Ooh, hello there, my fellow miners and crafters. Good times with Scar here, and welcome back to the wonderful world of hermits and crafting. Ah! I almost got my head chopped off by that crane. Welcome to Scar's Frontier Outpost, and we are going to take a look real quick before we get into today's build, which is, of course, Impulse's landscaping around his Tony Stark-inspired mansion, which I can't be more excited about getting into a modern build again. And I've got to show you this. This has been a comment in all of my videos. Scar, where, when, how, where is the giant jelly? Well, the giant jelly is now being reassembled here in Jelly's very own future cave house. We're gonna have cat boxes, food dishes, all sorts of fun things, maybe even some fish skeletons on the walls. I think it'd be pretty funny. But we've got the giant jelly being assembled, which I'm very excited about because the giant jelly is a staple. After False, made it as a prank, I'm like, you know what? This has got to be a staple of this base, and I think we've accomplished that pretty well. Down at this section over here, of course, we're building out an additional tunnel because, it makes sense that the track continues on. So we're building up a new tunnel in this section. We, of course, need more room back there and to darken it a bit more. And then, of course, an actual steam train on this portion of the track, also getting that set. But I just had to stop and just thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for an entire year on the server, building this outpost, which is almost done on the upper level. As you can see, we have a lot more work to do down below, but just thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for encouraging me. Thank you for all the ideas to continue this base. So, like I said, thank you very much. Let's get going. So recently on the server, I placed some orders for some redstone things, and Tango came through and made me a beautiful chicken farm. Very incredibly efficient and beautiful. But he said, Scar, I can do better. I want to challenge myself to do something different and to take redstone to a new level. And I'm like, you do you, Tango, you do you, and you come up with something amazing. And he truly did. Look at this incredibly inspired chicken farm. I'm just looking at this in awe because this is something redstone related that I like. Like, I know a lot of redstoners are very efficient. They're very compact, efficiency, all about that. Like, I love taking redstone to a different direction and making it inefficient, but just this incredible puzzle of, items floating around, bouncing around. I love this. This is inspiring. This is the first time I've ever been inspired to do redstone in my life. And it's like incredible. And I want to learn how to do something like this. Look at the little baby chickens and look at the little chickens. Oh, that's kind of morbid. Like, there are families going by them in chicken form. Oh, that's so tragic. But you've got this skeleton over here shooting, arrows through that. And then, of course, that hits the chickens that bounce down here. Oh, see, look, watch it. Oh my gosh, that is so amazing. And then, of course, over here, the Iron Golem. I guess he's just kind of the guard, keeping everybody at bay. But come on, guys, is this not the most amazing piece of redstone you've ever seen? Just for the creativity that was put into this, I love it. Tango, thank you. This is exactly what I was envisioned, and thank you so much for making this. Now, I had another order placed, and this was with Impulse. Down in my leaf processing facility, I really needed an item sorter that would put, the different leaves into a sorter device so I could easily pick up the leaves and get them into the right spot. So this, of course, is the leaf processing chamber here in the Brown Market District in my tree. And then this needs to be, fixed up. We'll work on this on a live stream. But this is what Impulse has created me. See, I've been busy. I've been all around the server, hiring work. Look at this beautiful contraption. It has, the corresponding leaves go into each one of these chests. So beautifully efficient. And I mean, in season 5, whenever that day comes around, when that season shows up, I'm going to try to be a little bit more organized, and I'm going to try to learn a little bit of redstone, so maybe I could have devices like this in the chicken farm. And when we build our modern Scar City there, I really hope to work on that. It's kind of a goal for whenever that season does come up, that I work on a little bit of redstone. I work on a little bit more organization. One of the funniest comments recently on YouTube was, I would just love to join Hermitcraft for the sole purpose of organizing Scar's chests. Oh, that was the single best comment I have seen in a very long time in the comments. So I thank you for the laugh with that. And we are now here at Impulse's yard, and his yard needs some Scar love. So his thoughts are that he wants a circular driveway, a fountain in the center, And I've come up with a couple surprises, and we're going to take a couple risks via new designs, using the new blocks in new ways, and also try to make palm trees, which is one of the greatest challenges I've ever had in Minecraft, is the creation of a decent looking palm tree. So I've set up a mobile crafting center, and as you can see, I have a lot of materials for what we're going to be doing today. Our first step is actually taking this box with us, and also this one, because we need to go make some concrete. Now the question is, I think I know how to make concrete, at least decently, and I believe the Azuma Avoid has created something over there that we can use for the aiding in that process. Now I'm looking for, here they are, get into my inventory. And before we get started, we need to build some concrete, and Azuma Avoid built this concrete factory, which is super awesome. I'm actually gonna donate from Scar's Frontier Outpost, a crafting table. So what he's got over here is these devices that make concrete. Now, I don't know how this one works, and I kind of forgot how this one works. Now, I watched this video, but when I got on here, I'm like, okay, let's make some concrete. Oh, shoot. How did he do that again? So one thing in Minecraft that I would absolutely love is if they took that idea from Tinker's Construct that if you put items in a crafting bench, it sticks, right? I mean, why am I putting torches in here? Why can't we have that in Minecraft? Because originally I was trying to make some dye, and I was like, oh, I need light gray dye. Instead of like placing all of these individually and then going, oh, I need to make some light gray dye. And then I got to knock this all out, redo it again. What if we could just implement a way where we could keep the items in the crafting bench? It would be so awesome if that was a thing. Okay. So we've got that. I want to make as much of this as we can. So we've got some light gray, because these are two options that I want to do for a driveway design. And yeah, so why don't we take these for now, and let's just see if we can make some magic. So I need a little bit of powdered concrete turned into concrete here. So I get, oh jeez. I'm sorry, Azuma. I'm sorry I broke it already. Oh shoot, now I gotta go get a bucket. Take 2, concrete production. All right, okay, here we go. So don't put it on the source block. I've learned this. So maybe right here. Oh, so how did he do that in his video super efficiently? Did he say maybe he put it in his other offhand maybe? Oh, that's how he did it. Oh, that's so amazing. Azuma Avoid is a genius. And let's start actually building today. So our first objective of the Impulse landscaping project is a gate. Now he did not ask for a gate, but I'm gonna make him a gate, and it's gonna be amazing. At least I hope it is. We're taking a bit of risk today, my friends. And that's kind of the theme of today, is a bit of risk. So the first thing we're going to do is we're gonna start with our gate, and we're gonna set up about, I'm just gonna use this as a gauge. I wanna do a nice little entryway to the gate. And I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna space this out by about 5 blocks. There we go. So we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, beautiful. Now I'm gonna scaffold my way up here another 5, so that's 2, 3, 4, 5, and then push myself back, and I'm gonna bring this one shy from the top. There we go, and we're on our way. So as you can see, I'm actually using the brand new concrete block, and this theme of this is a bit of a risk. Like I said, I didn't approve this with him. I just wanted to try to take a risk, and oh, hello. Apparently there's a ghost block there or something along those lines. I did just tear this out recently. So what we're trying to do here is create a gate that is in a very modern style. So we're going to use the darker grays on the sides, and then white and silver in the center, and then his logo in the direct center, that if the gate theoretically opened, it would kind of part there. Like it would take the yellow portion and the black portion to the sides, and then meet up again when the gate closes. So I think this is going to be pretty cool. I'm very excited about this. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to take the white concrete, and yeah, usually when I do these designs, I get just I get so inspired, more than sometimes for my own projects. And when somebody says, Scar, we need ourselves a landscape around here, and it just inspires me so much. Like if I'm doing my own things, I get inspired and I go about them and things of that nature. But when somebody else asks for something, I just get so challenged to try to, make them something really cool that they would be, proud of, something that they'd be excited to have for their own little own area. So when people give me these things, like, I love them. Unfortunately, we need a saying for Scar's landscaping services. And what I mean by that is, like a great service, but at the slowest pace of all time. So that's a really poor, company saying. So I need you guys to help me with that. So high quality services at the slowest possible paces. So you guys, I know, are going to be far more creative in that regard. So help me come up with an idea for Scar's landscaping services. We need a motto, and it's got to be something along the lines of, high quality service at the slowest possible speeds. Oh man. But like I was saying, I get super inspired with these, and I like to take risks a little bit. I try to think of a few things that I know the person would like, and then try to surprise them in some way. And I really hope to do that with these 2 episodes we're going to do here at Impulse's base. Is, he didn't ask for a tennis court / basketball court. We're going to talk about that. And he didn't ask for a gate and things along those lines. But I hope that this is something that he would find really cool. And I think, what is going on here, Ghost Block? There is a Ghost Block hanging over there. Impulse, your drive over here, it's haunted. It's scary. But like I was saying, risk, so very important in life, I feel. I think, we're, as humans, and especially myself, to a terrible degree, I can get stuck in the same old. And what I mean by that is, when I designed this, I was like, let's go to my cyan, my standby hardened clay. And it's like, no, I got to break from that and try something different. Yeah, I still love the cyan, but let's try the concrete. Let's try a different color. And it can be as simple as that. Or it could be as complex as starting a completely different style. Say maybe just for instance, we're doing modern. Maybe in Minecraft right now, you're thinking about tackling modern, whereas you've done other styles in the past as a builder. I think it's so good to always challenge yourself because, as I mentioned, it's so easy to fall into a rut and never improve, to always kind of do the same old that you always do. And I fall into that too much, and I really try to break that up, like we talked about a little bit before. For whenever season 5 comes around, I want to try something like I almost said Red Dog Tango had done inside my base for the chicken farm. I want to try a modern design similar to what we're doing today. I want to challenge myself in different ways than we did for this season. And look at that. That is looking sweet. Like I had mentioned before, see how these, if this could open, it would go this way and this one would go that way. And it would kind of separate the logo and then it would combine them back together. Haha, I love it. Okay, so this is closed, right? Can't go through there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to space this out by 2 blocks. And I'm going to bring this up to, about 3 blocks. Not going to go too crazy. All right, I'm not going to go crazy on that. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to swoop over here. Whoop, hello, come back here. There you go. Put that down like that. Now, this is a gate design that I've done elsewhere, but what I want to mix it up with is a little bit of, light gray. Can you see light gray? If it didn't say 32, we wouldn't even know where it was. But I'm mixing it up with this, of course, different design and this kind of pedestrian style entrance. And look at this. Put this right there. Bam. Got yourself a little handlebar. Look at that. Isn't that really cool? So Impulse will be able to access his base through here and via a pathway. And that's what we're going to start on now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of carve this out. And then we got to decide on what style powdered concrete we're going to go with. I love this thing so much. As you can see, I've got the gate on the side built up. Now the question is, and I want to run this by you real quick, just because I can never make decisions. I want to throw in the cyan just so I can get a gauge if maybe it is the better one. Like I said before, it's great to take risks, but if it's in the pursuit of a lesser design, then back off, go back to the other one. But yeah, let me know. Do you guys like using the cyan clay or the brand new concrete? See how it's a slightly darker, slightly shinier? I would say the cyan goes a little bit better with the spruce up here, but I also just love how this looks, really shiny. So yeah, definitely let me know which one you guys like better. So choice 1 would be, of course, the concrete. Choice 2 is the hardened clay. So yeah, definitely let me know. But yeah, for now, I think I'm going to keep it consistent with the concrete. But yeah, I think both of them look fine. With this one, we're, of course, like I mentioned before, we're taking a little bit more of a risk, which is what we kind of set out for a bit. All right, so let's get going on a brand new design for a driveway. And that is using the, light gray powdered concrete. Now, originally, I was going to do the driveway in the darker color and the pedestrian walkway area in the darker color, but using the concrete here, it's so dark that I think using the lighter color here, I think in the end will be the better choice. So why don't we take a look at this? Looking good. So let me just throw this in there real quick just to see maybe the pedestrian pathway actually would be cool in the darker tone. I didn't think of that. Originally, I thought this would be the driveway and that would be the pedestrian walkway. But I kind of like mixing them up a little bit. There we go. Gives a little contrast. And of course, this white clay, like, don't worry about that. Like, we're getting rid of that. Don't be worried about that at all. So why don't we just stop here for 1 second and take a look at this. Oh, this is looking so good. I am really, really pleased with this. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to replace all of this white stained clay with, you guessed it, powdered green concrete. I know, we're getting a little crazy today. And look at that fence. That is coming out very sweet. So inside we have a birch leaves. Now I'm going to mostly be using birch and spruce within this area, of course, so we can retain that brighter green. Now I also might do a layer of carpet above the fence line here. Now I believe this elytra launcher is no longer active, but I'm just going to leave it how it is because I don't know if anybody still wants it or not. But I'm pretty sure it doesn't work anymore, but we're not going to change it. So that only gives us 2 columns on this side, whereas over here we have an extra room for an additional one. So I'm considering keeping it very symmetrical or maybe expanding it out just ever so slightly. But let's move on from there and let's do some experimental design. So if you watched my 15 things to build with the new terracotta and concrete blocks, you've noticed that I declared these the new terraforming blocks because if we're in an area like the mesa where we have a kind of muddy green, we can use this block as the grass and we can have a nice bright green. And I think this is a cool option. Now, our secondary options are our standard standbys, of course, for any modern kind of lawn designs where you take your hardened clay and you take your lime green and you do in that nice design like that. Questions? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Man, I really want to do the new design, but this is such a like a proven standby as like a perfect design. Whereas this is like we talked about before throughout this whole episode, this is a bit more of a risk and a challenge to do this one. So yeah, it's a bit of a tough one to decide. So in these little areas, I think it would just look so cool to do this. Now, what we can do also is, oh, I don't have it on me. Where'd I put it? Come back here. Oh, there it is. There's the brown. So also the brown. So when we did that episode where we did the 15 things to build with terracotta and concrete, we did some pathways. We did a little like cliff terraforming. So we used the brown in there and I thought that looks really cool along the edges. So that's definitely a possibility, whereas we could do dirt along this section if I actually had any on me. But yeah, it's a challenge. I'm going to do some experimental design over here, really try to figure out what looks the best to me, and then I'll come back to you guys and we'll make some final decisions. One step closer to success on this project. Look at this beautiful entryway. Now I've come up with some ideas, so let's talk. Now the driveway is set. We have it in the, of course, the powdered concrete. Now this design over here is coming out really, really nice. Now you notice that I did kind of terraform this into the standard mesa design that we've been going with throughout the area. The reason being is I don't want this to be such a harsh transition into the kind of modern Hollywood style mansion. So that's why I kind of terraformed this out, got rid of what it was before was the white. So made this all look nice. And then of course it's a slow transition into the green. And then there's gonna be palm trees and all sorts of wonderful things. So yes, I am very pleased with this. I think it's coming out and I decided we're gonna do kind of a mix of this design and of course a more polished down, lawn using the hardened clay. So I think that's gonna be the best bet. And yeah, so let's hit super fast build mode and complete this super awesome circular driveway and let's hit it. of super fast build mode, and hopefully you enjoyed the time lapse of this incredible landscape coming together. So as you can see in the center, eventually we're gonna have our fountain there, but we have our beautiful lawns, we have the dirt using, of course, the powdered concrete, and the more manicured lawn in this zone over here. Whereas this is a little bit more kind of grassy, kind of, you know, a little bit more grown up a bit over in these sections over here. And that's, of course, with the powdered green concrete. And this has just been really fun because this is getting outside of our comfort zone of the normal landscaping we have done recently and really just trying something different. And I really think it is slowly but surely coming together. I am still trying to perfect, oh, we're not gonna have enough gray carpet. So let's take a look at how that's come out. So as you can see, I'm bringing that gray carpet all the way across on the top there. And I think that just adds a little extra detail for that very top line. So I think that's really nice. Added just this little extra detail so it kind of smooths the transition down. Build some trees on either side. Now those are, of course, standard scar pines. And then if we can walk inside to the gate here, I want to take a little bit of a birch. And I just want to kind of stick it around a little bit. Maybe remove the lower level piece right there and maybe just, you know, just build up a little bit of a bush right here. In this little section also what we could do is maybe even do a little bit of spruce instead so it has a contrast off of the fence. See how we did that? Just so it just breaks it up just a little bit, just to give it a little bit of variety in the area. I think that, yes, definitely, that's what it needed. Just a little extra something to break up some of the lines that we've established. There's a lot of straight lines, and I think this is just a nice kind of little bush to put on the sides. Just a little detail, nothing too much. Just a little detail right there. I think it looks really nice. And in other areas, we can change it up. Say right here, maybe we do a couple birch leaves. There we go, looking good. So I think that's nice. You know, maybe we can even stick in just a smidge bit of stone in this area, but just a little bit of this detail I think really helps. You know, will we keep it? I don't know. I'm just gonna kind of look at it. That's kind of the easiest way of doing this is get it down. Don't be scared. Just drop it down and see what happens. Don't be timid. It's like me in PvP. I went on Iskal's new server. By the way, if you haven't been on Iskal's new public server, definitely do so. You can definitely find the link in, of course, his videos and things. But I was on there and he was like telling me, we did a quick UHC, one of the speed UHCs on there, and he's like, don't be timid. Confidence, don't be timid. Remember my swim coach. Yeah, and that's like what I say about building is don't be timid. You know, you just drop those blocks down and see what happens. Maybe I need to take that confidence into the PvP arena, I suppose. But yeah, so let me put the final touches on this and then we'll do a quick tour and I'll wrap this all up. And welcome back, taking a look at the progress from above. Look at that, look at those green shiny lawns, that glistening gate. I have to see what that gate looks like. Oh my gosh, look at that thing. It's got Impulse's logo just subtly built into it via the stained glass. We have the quartz, the iron bars, we had the nice wood lining. Of course, I ran out of carpet squares, so we need to finish off this line here. And I really like this gate design. See how we had the glass and then the iron bar in the center there? I think that came out really, really cool. Ties in, of course, with the main gate. And boy, oh boy, I wish that thing could open. Can we make that thing open? Let me know. So, of course, these little pathways that lead in using the powdered concrete on both sides. Remember, this is the brand new Terraforming block, which I'm so very happy about. And then with the lawns and all these things, it's very straight, very modern, very symmetrical. So I think using some of these plants in and around the corners have really helped kind of diffuse and kind of make everything feel a little less straight. And I think that's good. You know, having a nice symmetrical design and then kind of breaking it up ever so slightly with that. Of course, we can't plant flowers or ferns or anything on top of these, unfortunately, which would be pretty cool, but they're not going to grow on powdered concrete. This is just not going to work out. So I think this does what we're looking to do. I planted some more trees on the backside over there. And yeah, I'm very excited about this. Unfortunately, like I said, I couldn't get to the palm trees today, but in our next episode, palm trees plus, and I need your opinion for this. So if you're a super awesome Scar Squad member and you've made it to the end of the video, you have a choice to help me come up with what we should do for a sports court. So over here, of course, this little pad of our driveway is for all the sports cars. So hopefully False can start. I think he's having False build these little sports cars, and I think they're going to go right here. Originally, they were supposed to be on the circular driveway, but the circular driveway is kind of skinny. So I made it a little pad over in this dead zone. So she'll be able to build like 2 or 3 cars there. I think will be very, very cool. All right, so over here is the sports court, my friends, and I need you guys to help me with this design. So in the comments, go #basketball court or hashtag tennis court, whatever one you think would look best in this spot right here. So let me know. And you know, if you have another idea for some other sports related thing, go hashtag other, whatever it could be, because I don't know what to put there. I think a basketball court and or tennis court could look really, really cool and just kind of add to that extra feeling of a Hollywood mansion. And that's the theme that we're trying to achieve with this. But guys, thank you so much for watching today. And I really hope this inspired you for your own modern house landscaping designs. And until next time, this has been Good Times with Scar. I always really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch my videos, and we'll see you later.